How's it going, guys? It's Alex here with Boreal River, and today we are going to be demonstrating how to do a hypothermia wrap, also known as a hypo wrap.
Hypo wraps are a great way to keep someone warm in the backcountry and can be effective for treating people with severe or mild hypothermia, or for anyone who is injured and unable to move around to keep warm. To start the hypo wrap, you want to tie a knot to the end of a long rope and weave it back and forth until you have covered the length of the body. You want to make sure that your weaves are wide enough to grab them once the person is lying down. This will make more sense shortly. The next step is to lay down a large tarp. In many cases, the larger the tarp the better, to have lots to work with. If it is snowing or raining, you will want to try to avoid getting the top, or soon to be inside, of the hypo wrap wet. Once the tarp is down, you will add a layer of insulation, like a sleeping pad or foam pad, for the subject to lie on. If you have multiple options, you may want to double up for added warmth and comfort. Next, you will lay down a sleeping bag. If you have multiple sleeping bags, you might want to put one down underneath and the second sleeping bag on top for the person to actually go inside. In some circumstances, you may decide it is a good idea to put some form of diaper on the subject. This could be done with a garbage bag by ripping the bottom corners and putting their feet through. Adding a vapor barrier around the subject before putting them inside the sleeping bag will also help to keep them warm by preventing heat loss from evaporation. Start by wrapping the vapor barrier around the subject and then putting them inside the sleeping bag. You will want to ensure that you let the patient bring their arms up to their chest for comfort, or just in case they need to scratch their face. Once in the sleeping bag, you will want to wrap them like a burrito, leaving the top of the tarp open. Make sure you do this well, so that if rain were to fall on them, the water would not make its way inside the tarp. This is where having that larger tarp comes in handy. Once their body is wrapped, you can start the daisy chain to secure the tarp in place. Take the loop that you created at the start of the line. Pull it tight, and take the next bend in the rope and put it through the first loop. Once you do this, you will have created a new loop that you can now use to put the next bend through from the opposite side. It is important to make sure that there is no slack in the line by pulling it tight before feeding it through the next loop. You will work your way back and forth until you get to the subject's head where you can tie the rope off. The final step is to create a hood. If you've got a SAM splint handy, you might want to use that. If not, a stick will do. In this scenario, we are going to be taking a bendy and sturdy stick and rolling the tarp around it. Once the hood has been wrapped, you can tuck in each of the sides to secure it in place. You can leave the hood just like this, or if it is raining or snowing, you can unroll the hood while leaving the edges secured in place to create a hood that goes over their head while still allowing them to breathe. And just like that, you have yourself a hypo wrap. This should help ensure that your subject stays warm.